Welcome to Blacklight TV. Today we're diving into the top 10 things about Thanksgiving you probably never knew. I mean, we know the basics, right? Pilgrims, Plymouth Rock, the whole national day of being thankful stuff. But trust, there's a whole lot more to this holiday than you think. We're going to uncover hidden histories, debunk some myths you probably thought were true, and maybe even make you question everything you thought you knew about Thanksgiving. Stick around, because some of these facts will blow your mind. And if you learn something new, impress your family at the dinner table this year with your newfound Thanksgiving trivia mastery.
Okay, let's start with something we can all be thankful for. Turkey's not being on the menu, at least for one lucky bird. Every year, the President of the United States participates in a tradition almost as old as the Republic itself, pardoning a turkey. That's right, in the midst of all the serious political stuff, there's this one day where it's all about giving a turkey a name, a pat on the head, and a one-way ticket to a life of leisure. Wild when you think about it, right? But also kind of fire. It's a reminder that even in the world of politics, there's room for a little bit of lightheartedness, a little bit of tradition, and a whole lot of love for, well, at least one turkey. I learned about it on Rick and Morty personally.
So, we all know turkey is the Thanksgiving dish, but why? Was it always this way? Well, the truth is a little more complicated and honestly more than a little bit weird. Historians aren't even sure turkey was on the menu at the first Thanksgiving. There's some evidence that venison was the main course, with turkey playing a decidedly less glamorous supporting role. Some folks even think Ben Franklin wanted the turkey to be our national bird, not the bald eagle. Can you imagine that symbol of freedom being a turkey? The point is, the turkey's rise to Thanksgiving dominance is a real head-scratcher. How did this happen, America?
Hold on to your hats, y'all, because this next one is for the birds. Turns out Thanksgiving was about to cause some serious issue once again. Check it. Back in the 1930s, it caused a national uproar. President Franklin D. Roosevelt decided to move Thanksgiving up a week. Why? To help boost sales during the Great Depression. Sounds harmless, right? Wrong. People went bonkers. Some states refused to recognize the change, leading to what newspapers called a Thanksgiving Civil War. It took 2 years for everyone to get on the same page. But this just goes to show, messing with tradition, especially when it comes to food and family, can have some serious consequences.
Let's talk cranberries, shall we? Those little red berries that end up in a sauce most people don't even like. But before they were a Thanksgiving staple, cranberries were, well, kind of a big deal for a totally different reason. Native Americans used cranberries not just as a food source, but also as a natural dye. We're talking vibrant reds and purples used to color everything from clothing to baskets to ceremonial items.
Alright, let's talk turkey. And by turkey, I mean the kind you watch while you're digesting your actual turkey dinner. That's right, folks, we're talking Thanksgiving football. It's become as much a part of the holiday as pumpkin pie. But did you know it all started with a publicity stunt? Back in 1934, the Detroit Lions, a struggling team at the time, decided to host a game on Thanksgiving to drum up some excitement. And guess what? It worked. People loved it. So what started as a marketing gamble turned into a national tradition. And now, every year, millions of us gather around the TV, cheering on our favorite teams while simultaneously undoing that top button on our pants.
From football to giant inflatable SpongeBobs, yep, we like it random around here, at least when it comes to Thanksgiving. I'm talking, of course, about the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, but this iconic event has surprisingly humble beginnings. It all started with some old raggedy, beat-up leftover parade balloons. After a parade in 1924, Macy's employees released the balloons into the sky, letting them float wherever the wind took them. It was a hit. Over the years, those simple balloons evolved into the giant helium-filled spectacles we know and love today. Don't act like you knew that. Okay, confession time. What's your favorite part of Thanksgiving? If you said leftovers, you my people. Because let's be real, there's just something magical about that day after feast. But have you ever stopped to think about how this tradition came to be? It's pretty simple, really. After the main event, people found themselves staring down mountains of leftover turkey. What's a hungry Thanksgiving fatigued person to do? Thus, the Thanksgiving sandwich was born. Chapter 8. The Christmas song that was never meant for Christmas. Prepare to have your mind blown because this next one is a real holiday head scratcher. We're talking about Jingle Bells, that quintessential Christmas carol that was actually written for Thanksgiving. Yep, you heard that right. James Lord Pierpont. The guy who wrote it originally titled it One Horse Open Sleigh and intended it as a Thanksgiving tune. Somehow, over time, it morphed into a Christmas classic. It's like the song jumped holidays.
Chapter 9. Hotline of Turkey 911, where people call to save their dinners. Let's face it, Thanksgiving can be stressful. You've got a million dishes to cook, family drama brewing, and a turkey that just won't cooperate. But fear not, because there's a hero out there for every Thanksgiving cooking crisis. The Butterball Turkey Talk Line. That's right, folks. There's a whole hotline dedicated to answering your most pressing turkey-related questions. From how to thaw a frozen bird, please don't use a hairdryer, to how to salvage a burnt turkey, spoiler alert, sometimes you just can't. These hotline heroes have heard it all.
Chapter 10. The side dish created by a soup company to sell more soup. And finally, we come to the side dish that nobody asked for, but everyone secretly loves: green bean casserole. This staple of Thanksgiving tables across America has a surprisingly calculated origin story. It all started back in the 1950s with the Campbell Soup Company. They were looking for a way to boost sales of their cream of mushroom soup. And what better way than to create a recipe that used, you guessed it, a whole can of it?
Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something new about this weird, wonderful, and surprisingly history-filled holiday. Remember, behind every perfectly roasted turkey and slice of pumpkin pie, there's a whole lot of quirky traditions and fascinating stories just waiting to be discovered. So next time you're gathered around the Thanksgiving table, impress your friends and family with your newfound knowledge. And hey, if you're feeling brave, try asking them if they knew about the Thanksgiving Jingle Bells connection. From all of us here at Blacklight TV, have a very happy and delicious Thanksgiving.